Good day, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I am your host, the Voice of Reason. The title of this video is The Ethiopian Economy in the Age of War. So, prior to November 2020, the Ethiopian economy, I would say, looked optimistic. Obviously, we had times where the outlook on growth looked very promising, and there was the prospect of a significant amount of ongoing foreign investment, really from all over the world. Now, as I've titled the video, uh, partially, the age of war. And within the context of the definition of the age of war, what is that? Well, there are two very significant conflicts going on inside of the former state of Ethiopia right now. Obviously, we have a conventional war going on. It has transformed itself from a high intensity guerrilla war to now a rather high intensity both guerrilla and conventional conflict, in which a tremendous amount of state assets are having to be utilized to engage in conflict inside of the Tigray region, inside of the Amhara region, inside of the Afar region, and so on. And that conflict does not have a end date. No conflicts really have an end date, but there sometimes is a light at the end of the tunnel in which you could see them possibly end. As we sit right now, based on what has happened and what is happening, there does not appear to be an end date. And we can see that forces have mobilized, especially in the Tigray region, where we could be seeing the mobilization of in excess of 300,000 persons taking up arms against the federal government of Ethiopia, the Amhara region, the Afar region, and so forth. We have seen mobilizations underway in the Amhara region. We have seen mobilizations underway in the Afar region. And obviously, that taxes the economy. It taxes personnel in terms of having those persons being utilized in a lot of cases now, a unpaid combatant role. So those individuals are no longer contributing to the economy, but are more or less sapping the economy because the government then has to, in some cases, pay these soldiers. They have to provide uniforms. They have to provide weapons, ammunition, recreation, health care. So again, it sucks away at the economy. And that is what is occurring. We also have to look at the procurement of military equipment, and we are receiving reports that the Ethiopian government is having to do that on a very, very large scale. They're having to utilize hard currency, hard foreign currency, dollars, and so forth, or go into debt and inflate the existing Ethiopian currency in order to possibly purchase many of these systems that they are attempting to purchase on the open market, and those systems, as we have talked about, of Turkish origin, of North Korean origin, of Belarusian origin. Really, it runs the gamut. And then we have other conflicts inside of Ethiopia as well, and that is the Oromo situation. And many areas inside of Oromia are in outright rebellion against the central government. So in this case, we are looking at a fairly high intensity insurgency that is going on with some very minor elements of conventional warfare that we're starting to see as well. especially when you start to see troops training and graduating in open air city environments that is not being attacked by government forces. So you know those areas are in firm control of an anti-government entity. And that is what is occurring. So we have two huge conflicts. And there are other conflicts as well that have always been going on inside of Ethiopia, and those conflicts are now being exacerbated by what is going on, and we're starting to see in some cases cohesion between the Tigrayan Defense Forces, the Tigrayan region, the Oromia region, and these other regions that are in opposition to the government. And that famous phrase, the enemy, my enemy, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and that is what is occurring in many of these cases. And where does this go? Where does this end? Is it going to end? Well, again, in terms of foreign economic investment, in terms of Western investment, you have to look at this two different ways. You have to look at sanctions being applied to the country. That makes investment risky. You have to look at the conflict situation, possible a fall of a regime. So one day you're dealing with the Prosperity Party, the next day you're dealing with someone else. Then you have the actual war itself and the economic strain that causes. So you have a lot of different issues challenging the Ethiopian economy right now. It does not look good. If I was a foreign investor and I was looking at telecom or mining or what have you, I would have to look elsewhere out of fear that the regime that I was dealing with could change, and I could be on the losing end of a response to that. Because I dealt with that regime, I am now the enemy of the new regime, or simply that the situation becomes dangerous to actually conduct business inside of the former state of Ethiopia. But that is what is occurring, and it will continue to deteriorate, especially when we really do not see a end, especially with what is going on inside of the Tigray region, with what is going on inside of Oromia. It is a never-ending conflict that is growing hotter and hotter each day, each month, and as this continues, so does the downward spiral of the former state of Ethiopia's economy. Have a great day, everybody.